And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Fawcett and I'm touching base with you as I always do here on YouTube. How are you guys doing? We are not on Instagram today. We are not on Instagram today. We are on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Yes, I said I will not take chances when I'm teaching to be on YouTube, sorry, on Instagram. So what's going on, guys? Welcome to Touch Base Daily. We are here. I see there's someone in the room. There's someone that just popped in the room. Chrissy's in the room. Good morning, Chrissy. How you doing? And yes, so man, it's snowing in New York. It's snowing in New York City. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. However, we're still only getting I say about 1 to 3 inches, maybe. I looked out the window. It's not a lot of snow out there. So 1 to 3 inches here in New York City. After they got so excited, they said it was going to be 6. Then they had one estimate 9 inches. It's still just going to be 6 inches of snow here. Um, Chrissy says yes. He's with me. Snowflakes. Snowflakes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Who else is in the room? Who else is in here? I see there's 2 people in here somewhere. I can't. I wish I could tell who the people are. What's going on? I noticed that no one really on Facebook ever attends. So, I may have to just chuck Facebook because no one shows up from Facebook. I don't know. I don't know what's going on Facebook. Is it the message gets out there? I don't know. Anyway, today is going to be our lesson day, and today is Tip Tuesday. As we always know, what we do on Tip Tuesday. Today, we're going to be talking basic outdoor event photography tips. Basic outdoor event photography tips. That's what we're talking about today. And so we're going to get right to it. I just wanted to just share a couple of things. One is um, the 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 Senate just passed a bill for foreign funding, which was good. So I just wanted to throw it out there. Keep your eyes on that. And also, Trump has made his case to the Supreme Court. Let's keep your eyes on that. And also keep an eye on what's going on in Georgia with the Fannie, the district attorney, and Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis, they're trying to, you know, they're trying to end that case. They're going to try to throw that case out. And it has nothing to do with her having a relationship with someone that's on the team. It's sickening. Absolutely sickening what's going on. What's going on, Earl? Earl Hopkins is in the building. Good morning. Good morning. So good to see you. Yeah, today is Tip Tuesday. We're going to be talking basic outdoor event photography tips. I hope this will help you. It will help you with a cell phone, smartphone. It will help you with a big camera. And I was supposed to have my props with me, but I left my props in the other room because I wanted to show you the difference between some of these cameras and the lenses, but that's okay. That's okay. No show and tell today, but we do have some photos I'm going to share with you. Hey, Lisa. Good morning, Lisa. So good to see Lisa in the house. How are you? Has everyone recovered from Super Bowl Sunday? Speaking of Lisa, has everyone recovered? I hope so. I think everyone has gotten their sleep and caught up on their sleep. And for those in New York, we got a snow day. So anyway, so how about this? We're going to dive right into the class. We are going to dive into our Tip Tuesday subject, basic outdoor event photography tips. And I know this is going to help you because, like I said, whether you're using a smartphone or a DSLR, a mirrorless, or a film camera, these tips are going to help you take better photos when you are at family events, when you are doing things for your company, when you are networking and you're at again an events or outings or sharing. But these are outdoor events. So we're going to talk outdoor events here. Oh, you are still bothering me today. No, Lisa, I love you, Lisa. Good morning, Lisa. You just reminded me of the Super Bowl, that's all. I'm not going to say anything about the 49ers. And let me see what's going on here. Let's see here. Okay, good, good, good. We're good. We're good. Good, good, good. Let me just turn this phone down so that I won't get any clips. Anyone trying to log on to me. There we go. There we go. Let's get those numbers down. Thank you so much for. So, okay, are y'all ready? Let me get this all here for you guys. We're talking photography. Today is Tip Tuesday, and let's talk photography. So this is some photos from some events that I photographed, and I said, let me just share a couple so you guys will know what I'm talking. We're gonna probably visit these photos back and forth um, as we go through, but I wanted to show the different types of photos when you're taking photos at an event. Like this is an action photo I would consider. Like you got the background is nice and blurred. You got the bokeh and the lights. We call this bokeh. Like this, like and it's very soft and smooth. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because we're going to talk about that. Also, you see her hair is in motion, so you got motion shot. You're freezing the motion. The smiles, here's a nice shot of the white girl is kind of like hanging out with all the folks, and she just looks so funny to me as I saw her sucking down her ice cream, and then the way this black guy was looking at her, and then you got the foreground here. So it's I thought it was a good picture to take, and but yeah, this is at an event in Harlem. It's called I think it's called Linux. It's on Linux, God, what is it? 100 Linux or 101 Linux, something like that. But it's right up there in Harlem, and they have these events every summer. Or taking photos of Halloween. I photograph here for Clinton Hill. There's always events going on here for Halloween in the neighborhood, and so taking pictures. I was hired by one of the groups to do this that was performing, or if I'm just taking pictures as in for documentary case functions, like here, this is at Fort Greene Park. This is one of my favorite dancers. This young lady here. I always call her. Well, she doesn't know I call her Air on air because when she dances, it's like she's floating on air. And so it's another photo, but I want you to notice the foreground, the background. I want you to take notice of that because that's going to be part of our conversation today as we talk about tips on basic outdoor event photography. Or photos like this one when you get the emotions, you got good foreground, you got the subject right there, you got background, you got bokeh on the lights. It's like a softness to the background or the surrounding areas. We're going to talk about how to do that, how to get that, to achieve that. Or like this one, making use of your blue hour. The sun has set, but now you get this beautiful blue sky. The beautiful blue sky is there. This is a function here in Fort Greene. I get hired. I've been hired several times to photograph this event that happens there called the Fling. This is more from that event, taking pictures. And again, trying to get, sometimes there's a single shot that you want to get, the beautiful smoke machine. So you got this softness around her. It's just pretty cool getting that kind of shot. And then you have also in Fort Greene, there's a Soul Summit, and getting that event, photographing for a project. And but look at that, all that beautiful group shots. So you got the whole feel of the event. And you see this gentleman in motion. He's moving through the crowd, and you see the people in the background just softly. And And then this is that event that I told you about at Lennox Street or Lennox Place up in Harlem. They do a concert from the stoop every, I think, once a month and during the summer. But I was there to photograph this event. Or another photograph here where you see also getting someone in action, and you see the action movement, using the flash to get capture and freeze, also get that beautiful background. Again, when you see these lights, like these little soft circles of light, which is called, again, bokeh. So that way I want to talk about that in our conversation. Bokeh, say that with me. Bokeh, that's Bokeh. A lot of us film people and photographers, we love good bokeh in our images or in a film. There's a subject, and then you got beautiful background, nice soft background, and then we're back to that. So, but we're gonna refer to some of these photos as we take on our conversation. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's go with let's start the conversation. Number one tip. The number one tip. Now, if you have never been to a place and you can, here it is. Scout the location a few days in advance if possible. This will help you plan your shots, find the best angles, and anticipate the lighting conditions. Now, that's not always possible. It's if possible. You can, well, a lot of times we take pictures of places that we are familiar with, like our backyard, or event at church, or an event at school, or event at the college, or event at the corporate office, and it's outside. You pretty much know it. But if you're going to be the designated photographer, let's say you can't afford a photographer like myself. I would prefer you all call me and hire me to photograph your events. But just in case you can't, or maybe I'm not in the same state. Maybe I'm not in the same city. You can't fly me there. A good thing is to know these tips, because you might end up being the designated photographer. Most of you guys that are tuning into this video or tuning into this platform have a love for photography, and you use your camera. You are not just, your camera doesn't just sit on the shelf. You're using your camera. So step number one, scout the location. Walk around, check out where's the best angles to kind of like photograph the event. Look, there may be an interesting fence. There may be an interesting bricks on the wall. There may be something of interest that you might want in the photos as you're photographing people or the event or the food, right? So this will help you, again, like I said, this will help you plan your shots, find the best angles, anticipate the lighting conditions. Step number two, we're going to have Q&A. So if you have questions, make sure you put your questions in the comment box. We'll have questions after. Number two, use a fast and versatile lenses. A zoom lens with a wide aperture, such as a 2.8, for those that have been in my class, who were in our class last month. We talked about f-stops, right? So now those people in our class from the Patreon community, y'all know what a wide aperture is, but just in case you don't, is how much you're letting in, how much light is going into the camera. And so such as this is a 2.8, while allowing you to adjust your focal length and capture sharp images in low light. Because the lower that number, that f-stop 2.8, you can get more light into the camera. So if, for instance, photographing at night, you might need more light. Photographing at sunset, you might need more light. So you need to have those f-stops. If you have a camera, smartphone, you can go to pro mode and you could adjust your f-stop. You can adjust your f-stop to a 2.8 or 1.4. Or, yeah, you can do that with your cell phones or smartphones. Okay, but most of us will be using our DSLRs or our mirrorless cameras or our film cameras. 2.8. Let me see what you guys are saying before I go on. I see you guys, some comments in there. Okay, people are just saying hello. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, back to. So here's the part B of this. A prime lens with a wider aperture, such as a 1.8, will give you a shallower depth of field. Remember, like you see this right here? Let me bring this picture back up. You see, that's a shallow depth of field. See how sharp she is? And see how soft everything is around her? That's because of this number here, that f-stop. That f-stop number makes all this area look soft and blurred. Like not blurred, but softer. That's the best word for it, softer. You get those little bokehs in the light, right? Yeah, that's what that looks like. So we'll give you a shallower depth of field and a smoother bokeh. Yeah. So, and let me say something about that, is that you can use your zoom lens, right? The zoom lens gives you flexibility. You can move around the room and you can take pictures with a zoom lens. On your smartphone, you usually have 3 lenses. You have a normal, wide, and close-up, zoom. Zoom, normal, and wide on your smartphones. So you can change interchangeably using those different lenses on your smartphone. So take that in consideration. We're talking about general photography, basic photography. Now, if you have a zoom lens, you could use the zoom lens, like I said, to move around the room, adjust, move in, zoom out. Lots of flexibility. But you get those beautiful bokeh images, right? When you have your fixed lens, like an 85 millimeter, a 50 millimeter, 35 millimeter. Those are exact lenses. Those are exact lenses, lens distances, how they function. Lenses that are prime, they're called prime lenses. They are exact, 85 millimeter, 110 millimeter. Okay, you get it? Okay. Here's the next one. 3, use an external flash indoors or in dimly lit areas. A flash can help you fill in the shadows, freeze the motion, and create a more balanced exposure. Oh, we had a photo that showed that, right? Didn't we have a photo that showed that? For instance, here's something I want to show. There we go. Like this shot. Look at that shot. The flash, I needed the flash. One is, if I did not use a flash, she would be dark. You wouldn't be able to see her face. You need the flash to open up the shadows, to light up the shadows. Because another reason why she would be dark is because all of the light behind her. Remember, when there's light behind the subject, a shadow is cast upon the front of the person. If there's light in the back, then there's going to be shadow in the front of the person. So you need a flash, right? You need a flash. This is for event photography. Now, if you are photographing scenes like a skyline or cityscapes, you don't use flash on cityscapes. You cut the flash off. No flash on cityscapes. No. You have to just get your f-stop and your speed in the right spot. You got to bring your speed down, but that's another subject for another day. But landscapes, if you're doing landscapes or cityscapes, no flash. No flash. But at an event at nighttime, you use flash. You use a flash. Yes. Okay. I see a comment in the other. Let me make sure. Okay, still say y'all saying hello. Okay, next one. Next one is number 4. We're getting through this really quick. Look at that. Mix up candid and oh, let me pop that off. Mix up candid and expose. Sorry, mix up candid and posed shots. Candid shots can capture the spontaneous and authentic moments of the event, and also pose shots can showcase the personalities and emotions of the participants. Let's go back to that. Like, I love candid shots. It's probably what I'm known for as an event photographer. Even though as an event photographer, I need to incorporate all of this into my repertoire. However, what I do love the most about event photography is, let me show you a photo, is a moment like this. It's candid. None of these people, none of the folks know I'm taking a picture of them. No one is aware that I am photographing them. I want them in the midst of doing what they do best, just being themselves. I don't want them to pose. I don't want them to look at the camera. I don't want to interrupt what's going on. I don't want to stop with the energy. I don't want the focus to be on me. I want the focus to be on them. This is the candid shots, the shots that make the photos come alive, makes you feel like you're a part of what's happening. The candid shots. Here's another one, like that one. Candid shots. Everybody's having a good time. You're just photographing. You're just capturing them, right? And then once in a while, you'll get a pose shot. Did I have any pose shots in here? I don't know if I had pose shots in here. I didn't add that in here. I guess you could say this is a pose shot because she was posing somewhat. But yeah, pose shots. But you want people, you want to get the activity. That's what it's all about, getting the activity. She's posing, right? She sees me. She knows I'm taking a photo of her. And she is just doing her thing. Yeah. So that's a nice posed shot. Posed shot right there. And that one shows the personalities and emotions of the participants. She doesn't have much emotion going on there, does she? Right? Oh, let me plug in here. I would have lost you guys if I didn't see that little red note come above. There we go. There we go. Any questions on that? Any questions? Yeah, reminders of the moment. Yeah. You want that. You want to be able to go back to the party and say, "Wow, I didn't see that. I didn't see that happening. That was what that happened? Look at the people dancing. Everybody's having a good time. No one knows the camera is rolling or the camera is photographing or it's clicking away. No one knows. They don't care. But at the end of the day, when your client, well, for those that are in the business to do this, or your family members are going to be so happy that you captured the in the moment, the candid shots. Janice says, grits and grins are artificial, but there's a place for grits and grins. There is. There's a place for it. You gather 4 or 5 people together. Hey, can I take your picture? 2 people together. Can I take your picture? One person, can I take your picture? You ask them. You say, hey, may I take your picture? It's okay. You want that variety in a event, like a good photographer at a wedding. They don't just take the group shots. I mean, the shots that is happening. They take pictures of the bride. They actually have the bride and groom pose. They actually have people, the guests, the moms, the dads, the sisters, the brothers, the cousins, the children, everyone poses. It's okay to have the grit and grins that may seem artificial, but they're properly in place. Thank you, Janet, for that one. That was a good one. And Here we go. The next one is try to get a variety of shots. That's what we just said, right? Try to get a variety of shots from wide angles to close-ups, from group to individual, from action to reaction. That will make like if you're photographing an event, you're photographing and telling the story of the whole event. And so if you're concentrating on wide angles, like the everybody wide, and then close-ups on individuals, and then the group shots where people pose, the individual, or they could be not posing, the groups or the individuals. You want variety. Variety is what's going to make your photos stand out. When someone says, hey, Shannon, could you take the photos of this event today? Yeah, you can do it because you already know in your mindset that I'm not just taking one kind of shot. I'm taking many kinds of shot. I'm taking a wide angle shot, close-up shot, group, individual, action, reaction. Nice. Next, let me pop this off. Get creative with your composition and perspective. How many times have we talked about that here on, well, not on YouTube, but now we're on YouTube. So you're hearing it from me on YouTube for the first time. But if you have been part of this community, this is not the first time as we've been on Instagram, right? Create with your get creative with your composition and perspective. Don't be afraid to experiment with different angles, frames, and croppings. What's the one thing we say all the time? What are one of the things we say you have to do when taking a photo that's going to make your photo different from others? What are some of the things we talk about? Okay, so I see some of the native sons and daughters in the building. What are some good ways to make your photo stand out differently from the average Joe taking photos? No offense to Joes, right? What is it? No one's in. No one's been to our class. Cause we talked about this in our class, our Patreon class. We talked about this. Anyone? Any takers? How about get low? Get low. Take the photograph from low. Look up. Go up. Look up. Take the photo. Bring the camera down. Right? Take it from a perspective that people don't expect. Most people take a picture head on, right? But if you take a picture from above, look at the difference. Here we go. Let's go. Let's show this shot. I think this one will show it more. That would be a good one to show. This one happens to be go high. I put the camera up in the sky, took it, bend it down, and took the shot from a little bit up. Get up and look down, take the shot. Go low, take the shot. Get some foreground in there. Like, for those that talk about foreground and background, these people right here, they're acting like foreground. They are the foreground. They make you feel like you're like the spectator. Foreground makes you feel like you're the spectator, like you are on the scene, so that when other people are looking at your photo, they feel like they're on the scene too. By the foreground. Makes sense, right? So get low, get high, change your angle, change the perspective, get behind people. Let the people kind of like crop the subject. Like have a person on the left, person on the right. Photograph between the armpits, photograph under the legs, photograph from different perspectives. Oh, look at this one. Janet says, I'm laughing because one your followers, one of your followers laid down on the sidewalk to get an image overhead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta get in it. Get in it. Don't just click, click, click. Anyone can do that. You need to bring interest to your photos. And the only way to do that is to move in a way from low and from above, and then between around the people, in between the people, from different areas that are not expected. Here's another part to that. Oh, I feel like I'm coming out with a cold. Ah, no, I can't have a cold. No. I was in the grocery store yesterday without a mask. Okay, here we go. And let me pop this off. You can use natural elements such as trees, flowers, water to create interesting backgrounds or foregrounds, right? That's what I was just talking about, right? Let's go through some of these photos. So we're just using the same ones over and over again. Here you got the foreground, right? You see that little angle? You see my little cursor moving there? There's my little cursor. This is considered the foreground. It's blurred or it's softer. And then your subject is sharp in the middle, which is the girl dancing. Then here it is again. Foreground. She is the subject, but she's being kind of like framed by these two people in the foreground. And there she is, but then there's nice background, and look at that soft bokeh light in the background. Like it's nice and soft behind her, right? I'm gonna use some more. Here's another one that's nice and full. It's the whole, everyone's in, but you got a little bit of, I wouldn't say this is foreground. This is pretty much the subject. You got a little bit of a foreground here and over here in this corner. Yeah. I remember one person said to me, a good a photographer said, a good photo should always have, if possible, a good foreground and a good background, and then your subject. All three elements should be there, right? Especially when you're doing street photography, or event photography. Yeah, it is a good thing. Okay. So use the flower vase, use the tree, use the leaves, like take a picture through the leaves. The leaves, right? It will make a difference. It will give your photos more interest. Okay, next one. You can also play with natural light, such as the golden hour, the sunset, or the moonlight, to create different moods and effects. And you saw that when I showed you, um, uh, here's a good mood shot, right? You got the beautiful blue sky. The sky is above them. Beautiful. If it was a dark sky, it wouldn't have the same power and effect. But that blue, beautiful cobalt blue with the beautiful yellowish incandescent lights. We know on the color wheel that yellow and blue go together very well. It creates interest to the eye. Yes. Study the color wheel. We can do that that'll be another class. Another tip Tuesday. Learn the color wheel. We're going to talk about that. The color wheel. But look at that. Look at that. You create the mood. You create the mood. Here's another one where the mood is created. Look at that. That's a mood. We're creating mystery, or just kind of like the smoky, and yeah. Look at the mood. It's about creating moods. And yeah, so they said golden hour, but I will also include the blue hour. I will also include the blue hour. I need to probably add that to it. I'll add that to it. Definitely. Okay. It's Q&A time. It's Q&A time. Did you get anything out of this? Did you get anything? Did you learn anything? That's the question. You're live. We're live. We're here. Any questions? Any questions? Yeah, our Tip Tuesdays is all about learning. Tip Tuesday. Hello, Elise. It's so good to see Elise is in the building. I see, who else is it? Serena's in the building. Ah, okay. Felicia, Fifi's in the building. Dr. Tachi's in the building. Chrissy's in the building. At least I think they're in the building. Okay, everybody seems to be here. Oh, that's it. Kimmy Kim. She loved, Kimmy Kim. Is that a heart because you loved it? Did you learn something, Kimmy Kim? Okay. So you know how I roll. At the end, it feels different when you're on YouTube, but put in the comment box, if you're not driving, one thing you got out of this today. What did you learn? What did you learn? I would like to know. I would like to know. So I know I always love this type of, I love our Tip Tuesdays because we get to share so much about different topics. And so if you want me also to share other topics, please let me know. Put in the comment box. If you like this video, click the like. If you're not a subscriber, click on subscribe. And Kimmy Kim says, I absolutely learned. Kimmy, what did you learn? Give me one thing. Give me one thing you learned. Janet, did you learn anything today? I know Janet's been doing her thing. She's been a photographer for years. I mean, we all learn. It's got to be one thing you learn. Oh, okay. Absolutely learned. Okay. Well, just so you know, so there's no Q. There's no Q&A. There's no one who has a question. No. Okay. That's it. That's it. Okay. We're going to end this quite early. This is going to be a short one. I'm just going to have my some what we call it, some announcements, and then we're out of here. We're out of here. Tip Tuesdays usually ends around 12 o'clock, right? It gives you a time to kind of relax. Here we go. Oh, I see something there. Kimmy says, well, I like the idea of taking a picture through something like flowers, right? Most people don't think about doing that. Like getting a little flowers at the bottom or squaring it or like in between, right? Right? If you're taking pictures of a horse, don't just take a picture of a horse in the open field. Maybe it's through the planks of the barn, of the fence. Yeah. Put some foreground into your pictures. Put some background into your pictures. Put something in the picture that gives you what's called scale. So you can see how big a person is or how small, or how big an object is or how small. I'm just going to keep it to event photography today. Janice says, have to practice what I've learned. Heard today, then I'll be able to say what I learned or was reinforced. Okay, that's fair. That's fair, Janet. That's fair. He says, enjoy the snow if you have some. Yeah, we got a little snow out there. We got a little snow out here. Okay, okay. Cool, cool. Well, just so you guys know, just so you know, just so you know, let me get here. Banners. Okay, there we go. This is all. You can find this information on our, let me get that there. Let me get there. You can find all of this information on our Patreon page. For those in the Patreon community, you got a notification this morning. And let me show you so you can see this. So you'll be able to get this whole thing in the Patreon. So you'll see it's all laid out for you. So you'll have it there. Basic outdoor event photography. Also, what you'll do is have all the links to different articles that you can learn more. If you want to dive into depth on these, these are also some of these items were taken from some of these periodicals. So you want to dive into some of these periodicals, you are more than welcome to. That is for the Patreon community. And this is yeah, this is definitely for the paid Patreon community people. But join the Patreon community; it's worth it, and you'll be able to see all the other tips that are out there as well. Also, just so you know, since we're here on Patreon, this Thursday is our class. For those that are coming in, if you want to come to the class, it is going to be virtually at 8:30 on this Thursday. That's the day after tomorrow. And we're talking shutter speeds. Last class was focus, um, f-stops. And then this week is going to be, sorry about that, shutter speed. So come on out for that. And that's the information there. And you can click on that. It is for those who want to join us, since now we're on YouTube and more people see this. If you want to join us, it is a $35 fee for non-Patreon members, but it is free for Patreon paying members. Okay, there you go. Okay, and there you have it. What else there? I think I got that. And also, just so you know, I do teach photography, basic photography. So if you're interested in knowing photography, you want to learn some photography, you can hit me up. Click on comments, hit me up, send me an email. But most of all, you can just simply go to the website and go to Photography 101, and you'll be able to hit me up on that. Okay, well, guys, thank you for any Q&A, any last statements, any last thoughts, any last comments, anything, because we're about to go bye-bye. Okay, I think we're all squared away here. We're all squared away? Okay, we're all squared away. So guys, thank you for joining me on this. Oh, I saw something. I saw red. I saw Omar said, have a great day, everyone. Okay, you know how I do. I'll keep the stream flowing for a little bit until you guys say hello and goodbye and introduce yourselves to each other if you don't know each other. Hey, happy Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? Oh, how could I forget this? I got to share what's going on tomorrow. We have a special guest, a gentleman named Howard Cash, who's going to be our guest. He is the curator with Jamel Shabazz at the Art Gallery exhibit that's on the Lower East Side happening right now. He's going to be our guest tomorrow to share about his photography, his years of living in Africa, living in Nigeria. Also, he has incredible photography. We're going to go through his site. We're going to talk about the stories behind his photos. And then he's going to also talk to us about a project he's working on. And so I'm so excited that Mr. Howard Cash is going to be with us tomorrow. He is an amazing photographer and has been in the game for a long time. Journalist, photojournalist, has worked for some of the major news agencies, has done lots of different work. I would say he has 50 years of photography experience, if not more. Older gentleman in age, but young at heart. And he has a lot of wisdom to give us on our Wisdom Wednesday tomorrow. So check us out tomorrow for our Wisdom Wednesday with Howard Cash. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, I think we got it. And last but not least, next Saturday is our meetup group. We're meeting at the Brooklyn Museum for our, let me get that in here so you can see that. We're meeting for our, for the Giants at the museum. That is the Dean collection of Switz, Bits, and Alicia Keys from 2 to 4. However, most of us will probably be there earlier. Like I will be there probably like 11 o'clock in the morning because I want to see the whole exhibition. I want to see other parts of the museum. And then I will meet up with the group at 2 o'clock. So if you want to come earlier, you're more than welcome to. We can connect. And then usually at 4 o'clock after, we will grab something to eat. We can either grab something to eat inside of the museum because they have a great cafeteria area. They have a cafeteria eating area, and they have a little restaurant in the museum. So we could do that as well. So we'll be doing that after. Okay, I think we got it all. I think we got it all. I think we covered it all. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Let me see here. Yeah, Janet says, wow. Thanks, Ron. Have a great day, everyone. I see that from Kimmy Kim. And yeah, okay. So guys, have a wonderful day. And I'll see you tomorrow.